This is Miletus, the powerhouse of the ancient Greek world. Located on the western coast of modern-day Turkey, this wealthy city-state was known as the cultural and intellectual heartbeat of the Aegean. Today, you will be taken on a journey to 3500 BC, to explore the mysterious, lost metropolis of ancient Greece and its extraordinary government structure. So you may be wondering, how was Miletus ruled? Well, actually, Miletus didn't just have one government structure. Miletus was a political rollercoaster. In fact, it experimented with at least 6 different government structures. In the very beginning, around 1050 BCE, Miletus was ruled by a king. So robes, divine rule, and these big magic wands. But, like many early Greek city-states, the Milesians eventually decided that having one guy in charge forever wasn't for them. So the monarchy was overthrown. Miletus tried something similar to a monarchy, called an aristocracy, meaning the wealthy and elite landowners had control over laws, ran the courts, and decided what was best for the city. And for a while, this actually worked, and they established a magistracy called the Asimnates. But over time, the common people got tired of being treated like second-class citizens, so aristocracy had to be trashed. After aristocracy was tyranny, where a tyrant named Thrasybulus successfully ruled for a period, followed by others like Thoas and Damascena. And although they helped the city grow its trade and wealth, tyranny ended after around 2 centuries. Then came oligarchy, a period where a group of wealthy and elite ruled. There was also the epimenioi, which was a group of officials who managed the city-state. Isonomia meant a society of equal laws, where ordinary citizens shared power without kings or rich elites controlling everything. Later, Miletus adopted Athenian-style democracy, the world's first direct democracy. It was a system where citizens gathered in an open assembly to vote on laws and even used random lotteries to pick everyday leaders. Now, because Miletus had so many forms of government, we can focus on its most successful government, tyranny. In Miletus, most of the population had no voice, and only the tyrant's inner circle could influence decisions. However, in the United States, citizens that are 18 or older have the right to vote, and this is also protected by several amendments. In Miletus, leaders were tyrants who seized power by force illegally, while in the United States, leaders are elected to fixed and limited terms. Laws were decreed and enforced by tyrants in Miletus, while in the United States, bills had to be passed by the Senate and House of Representatives, and also signed by the President. In Miletus, political participation was strictly controlled to prevent rebellion, while in the United States, citizens can participate in town halls, protests, voting, and more. Finally, in Miletus, citizens had few rights and were subject to tyrants, and they were responsible for avoiding rebellion. In the US, citizens are guaranteed civil and constitutional rights. They are responsible for paying taxes, following laws, and more. Despite the differences between these two governments, they still share the goal of having control, and they also both heavily invested in infrastructure, military fleets, and trade. In Miletus, only free-born men were considered citizens and were allowed to vote, own land, and help run the government. These citizens spent a lot of time outdoors, discussing politics, laws, and new ideas at the city market. Miletus was a wealthy hub for sea trading. Because it was on the water, the city traded goods like olive oil, wine, and fine wool with many faraway lands. To make buying and selling easier, Miletus was one of the very first cities to invent and use metal coins made of gold and silver. This trade brought great riches to the city. Wealthy citizens lived in nice homes and enjoyed music, art, and relaxing in large public bathhouses. The people also loved big public gatherings. They often went to their massive open-air theater, which could hold up to 15,000 people, to watch plays and public speakers. Miletus was home to a group of scholars who wanted to understand the world using logic, math, and science rather than just myths. People like Thales and Anaximander studied the stars, geometry, and nature. They taught young students to observe the real world and ask questions, and this is why Miletus is known as the birthplace of Western philosophy, math, and science.